So it turns out that the most romantic thing that you could ever do for anyone, and especially a partner or a specific person, lover, whatever you want to call this person that you might be thinking of right now, the most romantic thing is learning to love yourself. And the reason why this is so true is because we can't give what we haven't got. And people end up mirroring to us how we're feeling about ourselves. And if it doesn't match up with how we feel about ourselves, we end up doing things that push them away. So someone can come in and they might say, oh my God, you're beautiful, you're amazing, you're everything that I've ever wanted. And at first, that really hits the spot when it comes to validation. We get a high of, finally I'm accepted. But then what happens is those darker parts of ourselves that we haven't yet loved, haven't accepted, come up and they say, this doesn't match. This doesn't make sense with me. You're saying you love me, but I've got this thing within me that feels not true. Feels like it can't be true because I don't know how to love this part of me. So how would you? We end up seeing what we believe within ourselves. So the remedy, the cure, the answer to all of this is really learning to love and accept all the parts of you, the anxiety, the fear, the negative thoughts. All of those are parts of you that want to be loved, not rejected. And so much of the time we're saying, why am I like this? Why can't I change? Why can't I be less anxious? Why can't I be calmer? Why can't I be this or that? And all of that is us actually disapproving of ourselves. So every time you're saying those things to yourself, you're disapproving of a part of you that wants to be accepted. And that doesn't mean that we can't evolve. It doesn't mean that we can't become calmer or whatever it is that you want to be. But in the process, we have to learn to love the parts of us that are yearning, longing for us to be able to see and validate and keep that part of us safe. Because actually it's less about getting rid of these parts of us and more about integrating them so that they can feel safe. And whenever they feel safe, they don't shout so loud and they don't get mirrored back to us so much from our relationships. And the best thing about learning to love yourself really, truly, wholly, deeply is that we have the capacity to actually be able to love and accept someone for who they are, rather than trying to manipulate and change it and adjust ourselves or them so that we can feel better, safer, whatever it is that we want to feel. So it's about being able to love and accept yourself first so that you can go to a relationship to love, which is all we really want to do, isn't it? Because if you think about it, we don't really need to be loved, actually, because nobody can jump into our body and make us feel anything. What we're trying to learn to do is love ourselves. That's what it's all about. And from there, we're able to have that connection, that intimacy. And the reason why we can't love ourselves is because of the narratives, the perceptions, the beliefs that we created in our childhood where we perceived that we were not lovable or that we weren't enough. And often those lenses that we now see the world through are just faulty lenses. In fact, always they're faulty lenses because we are all love. We are all made of stars and love and everything good, right? Every one of us is worthy of love because that's what we're made of. And so it's just about being able to correct the lens that we've been brought up to view the world with and ourselves with so that we can love ourselves again, or for the first time, and so that we can go to relationships as our true self, which is love, and then feel that connection finally. So that's the most romantic thing that you could ever do. So how are you going to do it? What are you going to do? What steps are you going to take towards learning to love yourself? And it might be a journey, you know, it might be learning to understand why you've come to be the way that you are, why you've come to see the world the way you do. See the world the way you do. See the world the way you do. Lots of words there. See the world the way you do. Why do you see it that way, you know? And having compassion and understanding for that. But knowing that is only knowing that. So we've got to learn to take brave steps towards moving away from the behaviours that are creating a lack of self-trust, a lack of self-love within ourselves, that are actually eroding our confidence. And when we don't know what they are, it's really hard to do, which is why I think community and support and coaching and therapy and all of those things are just so important and so necessary. And I wish the world could experience that. And, you know, whenever we've got friends and people who understand this language of healing and manifestation and conscious creation, it's so powerful and so helpful, because we get to actually express these things that we're noticing within ourselves so that we can actually heal them and put them in the past and leave the past where it is in the past. So I hope you found this video useful, and if you'd like any more information about how I can help you, we've got the Conscious Creators Masters Academy, which is starting again in September. If you'd like to join for the early morning sessions, which is great for Australia and Australasia. And we've also got the retreat, which is going to be a very intensive, immersive, beautiful 5 days in the countryside in the UK. And if you want to give something back to yourself, then really consider coming on this retreat. It's going to be an amazing experience. So thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.